Israel keeps finding new ways to play victim while committing genocide. Notes from the edge of the narrative matrix. Israel is really struggling with how difficult its present circumstances make playing the victim. It keeps having to invent new abuses to be victimized by, like the imaginary Amsterdam pogrom and the fake mass rape narrative that surfaced months after October 7th, because it can't sit comfortably in the role of victimizer while on trial for genocide in international courts. Playing victim is too deeply ingrained in the narrative control strategies of Israel and its apologists, so they have to keep coming up with new and innovative ways for Israel to be victimized, even when it is very clearly the last state on earth who has any business being viewed as such. We keep seeing the word pogrom used to refer to Israeli hooligans getting their asses kicked for obnoxious behavior in Amsterdam, even as Israeli settlers keep committing textbook pogroms in the occupied West Bank. Just a week ago, Israeli settlers went on a violent rampage, torching Palestinian people's houses, vehicles, and olive trees in order to terrorize them and drive them away. This is the exact type of behavior that the word pogrom has historically been used to describe, but you never hear that word used in the mass media to describe Israeli thuggishness. Instead, we're seeing it used to describe Israeli soccer hooligans getting beat up after they tore down Palestinian flags and sang chants about murdering children in Gaza. So we're seeing some good news and some bad news about Donald Trump's potential cabinet picks when it comes to U.S. warmongering and militarism. The good news is that Trump has publicly ruled out giving psychopathic war hawks Nikki Haley and Mike Pompeo a role in his next administration, explicitly naming them in a post on Truth Social and saying they won't be invited. This announcement suggests that Trump is at least trying to win the favor of the more anti-interventionist faction of his base. Pundits like Tucker Carlson have been publicly crusading against both Haley and Pompeo throughout this election cycle, and I mention Carlson specifically because he reportedly has Trump's ear and was believed to have played a role in talking Trump out of bombing Iran in 2019. The bad news is that other professional warmongers appear to be working their way into the administration. Reports from both Bloomberg and Fox News say the horrible Mike Rogers is under consideration to be the next Secretary of Defense. The Ron Paul Institute's Daniel McAdams has a good thread on Twitter calling Rogers an utter warhawk neocon who is arguably worse than Pompeo and Rubio, noting that Rogers has promoted insanely hawkish positions on Ukraine/Russia, Israel/Iran, and China. This news, in addition to Trump's selection of Iran hawk Brian Hook to help staff the incoming State Department, makes it clear that Trump could still easily wind up with a cabinet full of warmongering swamp monsters just like last time. Hopefully, he keeps getting pressured not to do so. In a new article on the expanding ground occupation of the Gaza Strip by the IDF, about the way Israel has been carving up Gaza and seizing more and more territory, Israel's Ynet News reports that far-right elements within the Israeli government are simply waiting for the Israeli hostages held by Hamas to die so that their deaths can be used to justify continued occupation and the construction of Jewish settlements in Gaza. It's like a false flag conspiracy theory, except it's definitely happening, and is being done right out in the open, and is even being announced ahead of time. Democrats. Oh no, the right-wing voters we again tried to win over voted Republican again, and we lost again. Leftists. So stop doing that and win over the left instead by promoting immensely popular social policies. Democrats. No way, man. If we do that, we'll lose.